Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Talk on All. I'm your girl, the one and only Sophie B. And on this edition of Talk on All, we're going to be sitting down with Dr. Virginia Rubain, and she's going to shed some light on why people cheat. Why I cheat? Why the card? Why the hun? Also, ladies and gentlemen, we had the opportunity to chill out with the BVI Archery Association. I had the opportunity to shoot an arrow. Am I going to make a bullseye? There's only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it locked right here to Talk on All. We'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I promised, we chilled out with the BVI Archery Association. I had a fabulous time hanging out with those kids. I had the opportunity to see just how they train. I learned about the equipment that they use, and I also got to shoot my first arrow. All right, we want you guys to check it out right here on Talk on All. JTV Hot Trends, it's your girl, the one and only Sophie B. And ladies and gentlemen, we love to give you the 411. Today we're chilling at the softball field in Longbush with the Archery Association. Yes, they invited us here because they have a big match that's coming up, and they want to share with you just how they train and prepare for their match, all right? And of course, to give you more information about the association altogether. All you got to do is keep it locked right here to JTV Hot Trends as we bring it to you. Keep it locked. Archery Association, ladies and gentlemen, JTV Hot Trends. I'm here with the lovely Ritsinia. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. How you doing?
I am well. Now I see you got some machinery going on here, girl. I'm scared of you. Tell us a little bit about this.
All right, so this is a compound bow. The bow that I shoot is actually a Bear Escape SD. It's actually made for women because the grip is more for women's hands. They have 3 bows that's made like this, and that's why I pretty much like this bow. So I'm shooting a Sherlock sight with a MAC-10 scope, basically.
All right. Now, the Archery Association, how long have you been a part of the association?
Okay, so we started in 2015. I've been a board member since we started. Actually, we started between me, Patrick, we had Phil Oliver, Mashana, and we had Bentley Roach. We were all part of the beginning formations of the association. Also Wynette. Yeah, but she wasn't on the board, but she's always been there.
And when did you know that, you were interested in archery?
Oh, before that.
Really? Why? What caught your eye? What made you interested?
I couldn't shoot a gun in Tortola.
You see, we got sniper shooters right here, Mr. Really? Okay.
It's a very calming sport. So, when you're under a lot of stress, you go out of the range and shoot, and it actually relaxes you.
Nice.
Calming.
Nice. Now, you guys got a competition coming up. Tell us a little bit more about that competition.
All right. So, the next competition we have coming up is in Santo Domingo. It is the qualifiers for the Central American Caribbean Games, the CAC Games, which a lot of the athletes are going to. There's athletics, there's, the other sports. We're all going to. And that's April 2nd to April 8th.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the competition that you guys took part in Puerto Rico.
All right. So last year, April, we were invited. It was the first developmental championships that was organized by World Archery for the Caribbean islands. And it took place in Puerto Rico. We were shooting on the same field with people like Sarah Lopez, which is like one of the top female compound shooters in the world. She's actually like my, model. I'm trying to get there to her. We met people like the U.S. archery team. Andre Shelby, which was the first black archer to receive an Olympic gold medal in the 2016 Olympics. And he's also a para-athlete. And we were able to shoot on the same field with all these greats, meet them, shake hands, get autographs. It was incredible. The youth that we took were so excited that I think all the nerves left for the competition itself. We did really well, came back with 16 medals. A bunch of gold medals. I myself got 3 gold medals. Wynette got 2 silver medals. We had medals in the recurve division because there's many different divisions and the different age groups. So we did really, really well.
So that means when you guys go to this one, the next one, you all gonna kick butt.
We're looking to bring back some bling. That's what we're looking to do.
Now tell the people of the BVI what they can do to assist the Archery Association in getting to this competition and in the future.
Well, basically, definitely support the young archers. This is a sport that's new to the BVI, and the young athletes need this support as much as possible. Everyone's into basketball or softball, but archery is one of those sports that's a catalyst for other sports. It actually brings children outside to do something, and then they get into other sports. So we want to support the athletes, especially the young ones, push them, give them that support that they need in anything that they do, basically.
Right. Now, if persons are interested in making a donation to the association, how can they go about doing that?
They can always go to our website, www.archeryvi.org. There's a section there that they can sponsor. We also have archery in the schools here, so you can actually select a school that you would like to sponsor to as well, or you can email us at info@bviarchery.org.
Good stuff. All right, ladies and
sorry, my apology, correction, info@archeryvi.org. My apologies.
all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you support the youngsters, and if you want to donate your time, donate funds, you can just go right ahead and support the Archery Association. Ritzina, pleasure being here with you guys on the softball field, watching you guys train. I can see the excitement on the kids' face. They're really, really excited, and they're enjoying, being a part of this team.
Yes, they are. That's the joy that a coach gets out of it. Yes.
So see, you don't use that chest muscle. You feel this muscle here? This muscle that hand you use? That's the muscle you actually use it. So when you release this muscle, it's putting your hand this way.
I'm not worried about why
You're just doing this, like your finger too straight. So actually what happened is
Welcome back, JTV Hot Trends, ladies and gentlemen. We are here chilling with the Archery Association, and I'm here with Damon Slick Rick. Rick, how are you today?
I safe him.
You safe?
I safe, man. Hot but safe.
Yes, very hot. Now, the Archery Association, tell us a little bit about the association. How long you guys been together here in the BVI?
Okay, we're just over 2 years old. We were formed a couple years ago. We started out shooting leisurely, and as we saw the demand for the sport grow, we decided to move forward and take the next step, trying to get ready for the Olympics.
All right. But why archery, though? I mean, this is something that I think is very unique. When I think on archery, I think on Robin Hood. I think on Brave. Why archery in the BVI?
Well, why not? I mean, it's a sport that's basically for anyone, regardless of your athletic ability, your age, your strength, your physique. It's a sport that anyone can participate in.
Right.
So why not?
And you have a team, and this team, I understand, should be going off soon to be doing something really big representing the BVI.
Yeah, we have right now we have new national team members. They're here training with us. We have the older members. You can see in a minute. We'll be leaving for the Dominican Republic in April, the first week in April. Yeah, some are going to be trying to qualify for the CAC games, and others, the newer members, going to be shooting in the development tournament.
Right. Now, let's say that you do qualify, and you take part in the games. What will happen next after that?
Well, if we qualify, that'll be like a first step towards getting to the next Olympic Games. So before you get to the Olympics, you have to participate and qualify at a number of qualifiers. So this is the first step.
Right. And I can see that Irma really didn't set you guys back too much. You all experiencing any difficulties?
Yeah, well, we lost some equipment. Some was damaged, some was stolen, unfortunately. But for the most part, we had enough to continue the program. Yeah, so we not where we were, but we're pretty okay.
Right. So what do you want the people of the BVI and the world on a whole to know about archery on a whole, and of course the wonderful team that we have here today?
Well, what I like from the general public is to support the kids. I mean, everybody was saying, the kids are the future, the kids are the future. They see the kids out working, and I would really like them to come and support the kids. I mean, it's a lot of work. They're getting grilled. Some of them hate me, some of them like me. I don't think none of them love me. But it's if you want to be a champion, you have to put in the work. You have to put it in.
And supporting also, is it something that you guys have fundraisers that you would need the support of the BVI as well?
Well, we haven't had any fundraisers yet, but that's something we're looking into. Right now, we partnered with YEPS and a couple other groups to help us raise funds to get to the DR.
Now, for somebody that's looking on and they want to become a part of the team or a part of the association, how can they go about doing that?
Well, you can hit us up on our website, archerybvi.org, or you can give me a call, 499-0836. Holla anytime.
All right. Well, we're going to meet some of the team members, and I'm going to get a crash course in this thing. Hopefully, I don't kill nobody live on camera. But we're going to speak to some of the members of the team.
Oh, yeah. See the captains right over the little one with the Eastern cap? Yeah, stab it on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, keep it locked right here to JTV Hot Trends. More to come. We'll be back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still chilling here with the Archery Association, and I'm here with, your name is?
My name is Christy Lachman.
All right, and your name is?
Jermaine Leibel.
All right, now, Jermaine, how long have you been a part of the team?
I would say about 2 years, roughly. I started when I entered HLSCC, when they formed the Stingray Archery Club. It was during a club fair where like all the clubs in the college were coming together and trying to invite people. And I saw archery and I saw the display of all the bulls and everything. And I thought, wow, I want to try this. Yeah.
Right. And what's the best thing what's the most enjoyable thing about being in the archery team? What do you enjoy most?
I guess coming out here and shooting with people that are just like me, who wants to come out here, shoot and have a good time. Also trying to hit scores and that sort of stuff too is pretty awesome. And we always crack jokes on the range, and yeah, we have nicknames for each other too. So that's Grunty. I'm Thing One. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
He's off to college now, so yeah.
So like when you're standing in position and you're getting ready to let go your arrow, or your arrow, right? Yeah, your arrow. What goes through your mind at that point? Is your heart racing? Are you thinking to yourself? What goes on?
Well, I mean, you have to stay focused on what you're doing, because archery sort of is not just about being physical, also mentally. So if you're distracted on the range, then you can see that in your performance when you're shooting too. So it's always important that you stay focused and you always practice in that sort of stuff too.
So then it probably not be a good thing to be thinking, I wonder what I'm going to cook when I go home later. No, okay. So you have to be fully focused. All right. So you're going to, I guess, tell us, we know a bullseye is in the middle, right? And you have different points for outside of the bullseye?
Yes, we do. So on that target over there, the smaller one, that's a compound target. So the center is a 10, then the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then outside of that is nothing. But on the recurve target, then there's more rings, and the further out, the lower the score. What they're working on right now is sighting in. I'm not sure, the orange thing that you see on her recurve bow is called a sight. And I guess she's trying to shoot, you see that tearing the target. So you notice her arrows are going too high, so then you adjust your sight to go up. So you're always following the arrows when you're shooting.
Now is the actual, and then, okay, so the figure-majigger that shoots the arrow, that's what I'm going to call it, that's the bow?
Yeah, that's
okay. So is that heavy? Is that hard to maneuver?
Those are the beginner bows, so those are pretty light to pull back. My bow, that's the white one over there, that's currently about 22 pounds. Yeah, I have 36 pounds, but right now I'm just working on my form. But right now I'm just working on my form where I'm shooting the lower poundage limbs. I think, Jermaine, what poundage do you shoot?
I shoot 40 pounds, yeah. When I practice, I shoot 36, and if I really need to just take it easy, I would shoot 22 as well. But yeah, for competition purposes, I would shoot 40 pounds.
Okay, so to determine which bow you're gonna shoot, we're gonna have to determine which eye is more dominant. Meaning, when you focus on an object far out, your brain sort of selects an eye to aim at. So that's what we're gonna do with Sophie. We just did a test on her, and it turns out that she's right eye dominant. So that would mean she'd be shooting like a right bow, if that makes sense.
Okay, so this is your typical right-handed competition style bow. These are all the parts of what you would see in a typical archery competitor. This is the stabilizer that helps keep my arm straight when I'm shooting. These are the V-bars that you can see very visible. This is the sight, which I aim for, the arrow rest, the clicker, and of course the string. And these are the limbs. These determine the poundage. So these limbs are currently 40 pounders.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The BVI Archery Association, they are going off to the Dominican Republic. Be sure to support, check out their website, and donate your time or funds if possible, all right? We sat down with Dr. Virginia Rubain and had a really interesting discussion about why persons cheat. She shed a little bit of light on it from a psychological standpoint, and we want y'all to check it out. Talk on all, it's your girl, the one and only Sophie B, and as usual we bring you the 411, juicy topics and so much more. And tonight in the studios we have with us Dr. Virginia Rubain. I decided to invite her to the show to talk about a very touchy topic, a very popular topic, and it's a topic that nobody seems to have the correct answer to. So we want to basically go from a psychological standpoint on this particular topic. Welcome to Talk on All, Dr. Rubain. How are you this evening?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Now, it's a very popular topic. It's something that I think majority of people within the BVI and the world, they have to deal with. Cheating. Some people don't understand cheating, why cheating happens. Some people feel that they're doing all they could do in their relationship. But for some particular reason, whatever that may be, they are cheated on. Can you shed some light on that particular topic of cheating and perhaps why people tend to cheat?
Well, the technical, clinical term for cheating is infidelity. And it's a very broad scope because people break trust for a multitude of reasons. And I think that while we're going to talk about some generalities, we have to understand that each situation is unique. Based on my almost 20 years of experience, the one consistent identifying factor amongst persons who break trust is that they themselves do not trust themselves.
Explain that. They themselves don't trust themselves.
Okay, so persons who cheat have internal psychological struggles that make it difficult for them to trust themselves as a human being. And so if you cannot rely on yourself, who can you really rely on?
So then this in turn make them cheat within their relationship because
they don't trust themselves to care for themselves. They do not trust that other people will care for them. And so there's an insecurity born out of that. There's a dissatisfaction that is born out of that. So even though their spouse or mate or partner, whatever term people prefer, are not doing anything per se to elicit this particular response, the response presents itself because these persons have internal psychological struggles that manifest in their ability to maintain commitment and trust.
So, okay, so why is it that they get into this? So I'm assuming most persons don't know that they have this issue, this psychological issue.
Everybody knows that they have internal struggles. Some of us are more honest than others about those struggles.
Right.
We all have leftover stimuli or sequelae, as we say in the field, from our childhood. And our childhoods inform the types of decisions that we make as adults. For example, if you are a male that grew up in a home where you saw your father be unfaithful to your mother, there is a good probability, and the percentage is very high,
really,
that you yourself will engage in the same behavior. Not on a conscious level.
Right.
Consciously, you saw your mother's pain, you saw what your father's behavior did to the family. But in an effort to not be like your father, you end up being like your father.
Right.
Too far east is west. So because you haven't dealt with your feelings as a helpless male child in a home with a domineering father that continuously betrayed your mother's trust, you grow up and seek intimacy and create situations in which those patterns from your childhood play out into your relationships in the here and now.
Right. Okay, so you mentioned that some people are aware of their...
Well, they're aware on the surface level.
Okay.
They're aware of the discomfort, but what they do is they project the discomfort onto their partner.
Okay. So why even get into a relationship if you full well know that you cannot commit to somebody.
Well, I didn't know that. I went into the relationship promising myself, God, and the people who gathered to see the union, that I wouldn't cheat. When you speak to cheaters, what they will say is things just happen. It just happened. It wasn't something that I planned.
It wasn't nothing.
And in their mind, it might not have really been anything. What that says to me is this person lacks insight, self-control, and discipline.
Right.
Because there's temptation everywhere.
So, okay, so now there's this new thing, this popular thing, side chicks and side niggas.
I don't
This
even know
is
what that means.
you have to have heard the terminology before. The side chick.
Well, I can
The
infer.
mistress.
I can infer what it means based on the words. But
Right.
So now you're saying that this is legitimate. They have legitimized this.
Right. So some women are comfortable being the side chick to a guy who's already in a committed relationship, and a guy is happy to be the side nigga
Well, I would say for a woman who is willing to be second best, she probably grew up in a home seeing a mother who played second best.
Well, I mean, in 2018 we're in now, some see it as, well, you know, I don't really have to deal with him cooking, cleaning. I just have to satisfy him on the weekends.
I am rationalizing my insecurities. I am justifying the physical manifestation of my psychopathology on the inside. Because anybody who can rationalize not being given the respect and the commitment that they deserve tells me that something is going on inside of them that they're not dealing with. But who runs for Miss Universe and says, oh my God, I wish I could be the first runner-up?
I know, right?
Everybody wants to be the winner.
But it's popular now. It's something that you see on social media. You know, they glorify it to be a side chick.
I know your show is on social media, but let me just say, listening audience, I think social media is the devil. From a psychological
Pros and cons.
From a psychological perspective, what I have seen in the last 10 years is that people have lost their ability to empathize with one another.
Yeah.
So we're losing our ability to understand another person's perspective. We are no longer compassionate. We are no longer loving. We have been completely desensitized from the human experience. And it's getting even worse because we're losing our ability to interact with each other in a healthy way. Unless I am WhatsApping you or instant messaging you or inboxing you, I don't know because I don't have Facebook, or whatever it is,
In the DM.
I'm not comfortable. Go into public spaces, go into restaurants, you see people sitting to have a meal together and each person is on their phone.
Right.
You go into the airport, especially huge international airports, I'm a people watcher, everybody's head is down in a gadget. Nobody is interacting anymore. What does that say about us in the next 200-300 years in terms of the human race? Where will we be?
I think the movie's already given us an insight of where we're gonna be at that point. But from a psychological standpoint, what advice would you give to the persons that are being cheated on? What do they do? Some people invest 20 years, 10 years, however much years in a relationship with somebody. They genuinely love and care for the person, but the person is a cheater.
This is something that I've been saying to my clients as of late. What do you believe? What are your belief systems anchored in? Whether you believe in Mickey Mouse or God, you have to believe in something. And it is that belief system that's going to inform your decision making. God did not create us for abuse or misuse. And if you have a good relationship with God, you'll be guided by Him in terms of what you do. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning. Each situation is unique. Some couples are able to face infidelity, get proper counseling, and move on and have happy, healthy relationships. Other relationships, they see it as cyclical. You know, they have a period of quiet, what we call a honeymoon period, then the tension starts to build again. Somebody does something and they're right back at square one. So I can't say above board what everybody's supposed to do in their particular situations. What I will recommend is that you get counseling. You find a therapist, just like how you would find a cardiologist if something was wrong with your heart, or a gynecologist if something was wrong with your vagina. You need to vagina.
Yes.
You need to find somebody to help you deal with your head. Too often we sit and suffer in silence, or we have a support network. We have our girlfriends, and they will
That you can trust.
I hope, that will give us advice, but there's only so far that they can go, because if you're in a relationship with somebody who has cheated on you multiple times and nothing has changed in terms of the person's behavior or your behavior, that tells me something is going on with you as well.
So then now what would you tell the cheater? Same thing, counseling.
In order for the cheater to move forward in a meaningful way, same thing. What do you believe? How much do you believe it? How does it inform your decision making? And absolutely, they have to get help, because cheating is a generational curse. Apple tree cannot bear oranges. The behavior that you model for your children is the behavior they're going to emulate as adults.
So, okay, so then they're cheaters, or not even just about cheating. Some persons who don't take responsibility for things that happen in their life, whether they're not moving forward, they're not successful, they always point the finger at somebody. You're the reason why. You're the reason why.
They need help. They need help.
And what's the underlying cause for that?
They lack insight. So they don't have any insight into their behavior. So essentially what's happening is they're finding themselves in the same situation over and over and over. But for whatever reason, they can't recognize that this new situation is just like the old situation and the situation before that. They don't have any insight.
And how? And so counseling is the only way for them to
develop insight?
Yeah.
It's one of the most effective ways, but it's not the only way. Some people have aha moments. Some people reach a developmental milestone. Some people make 40 and look back on their life and was like, oh my God, I squandered my whole life. And start really taking a look at the situations leading up to that birthday and spontaneously recognize that they have been the architect of their own misery.
Right.
It's not so easy when you live in a society that condones your behavior. It makes it even more difficult for you to develop insight. And in the Virgin Islands, our society is very complicit in this type of behavior.
Yeah. We
see people out with people that are not their spouses, mates. I'm not saying that you gotta go confront people, although back in the day when I was younger, that seemed like a good idea. But if I see your husband out with somebody, I am your brother's keeper. I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna tell you. What you do with that information is entirely up to you. If you choose not to speak to me again because of it, it's okay. I understand that you're embarrassed and you don't want to speak to the person who witnessed your embarrassment, but eventually the truth will come out, because there are three things that must rise: the sun, the moon, and the truth. There's nothing that we can do to subvert them. So I know, because I didn't come to you out of malice, I didn't come to you with any hearsay. I came to you with what I saw. I am vindicated in that. So if you cut me off, that's okay. Yeah. Because it's going to come out, because he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop just because I told you. And so then I can sleep at night because I did, based on my belief system, what was righteous for me.
Right. So this is something that I guess people would always have to deal with.
I don't know. I think God is coming for his world very soon. I don't know. I think that change begins with you.
Yeah.
And if we decide as a community that we don't want to live the same dysfunctional pattern, everybody has a story. Everybody has a childhood story of trauma based on the interactions of their parents. Whether or not their parents weren't there for them, whether or not they grew up with a father inside, outside the home. So it is mystifying for me when I see adults engaging in the exact same behavior that their parents did, and they can't make the connection between their parents' behavior and their behavior.
And that's the whole breaking the cycle thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the generational curse. Because what's going to happen is, you see, well, this is not my motto, but I firmly believe this. You can either pay now or pay later, but the point is you will pay. And what we're doing is we're continuously running from the consequences of our bad behavior.
Okay.
And you can only run so far, God will always catch up with you. So in my opinion, it's better to stand and deal with it in the first instance than to run from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, repeating the same mistakes over and over and saying, I keep picking bad people.
Yeah.
You can't be, after the 10th person, after the 10th husband or the 10th girlfriend, at some point you have to admit that the constant variable in those 10 relationships was you.
Yeah.
So it can't be that everybody bad.
Well, so, yeah, it could be.
Really?
It could that you just make really bad choices.
Who's selecting these bad people? You.
yes.
So you're the common denominator. You're selecting these people because they meet particular psychological needs in you that are dysfunctional. And you need to take ownership of that.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could go on and on and on about this topic, but what would be your last words, your final advice for someone who's being cheated on and the cheater?
Please get help.
And how can they go about doing that?
There's a multitude of counselors in our community. They can certainly come to my office at Community Mental Health and Substance Abuse, located in the Peebles Hospital campus. Our telephone number is 852-7675. And if they're not comfortable with utilizing the wonderful service the government of the Virgin Islands provides, we can certainly give them referrals to persons in the private sector.
And is this service free of charge?
It's covered completely by NHI.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, Dr. Rubain, it was a pleasure having you here. I wish we could have talked more about it, but I think it's an ongoing topic and a never-ending topic.
Pretty much.
But again, thank you so much for coming to the show, and hopefully we can have you back and talk about more issues that people go through, whether it be mental health, whether it be obesity, because I know you could touch on that, because sometimes you have psychological issues and eating and all of that stuff that people would like to hear about. So we'd love to have you back again.
Thank you very much, and I'll be back.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, more to come right here on Talk and All. Keep it locked. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Virginia Rubain, she shed some light there for us. It's an ongoing topic, never-ending issue, but hopefully persons will be able to deal with it the best way that they can. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of Talk and All. Of course, we want to say thank you to Dr. Virginia Rubain for passing through the studio, as well as the BVI Archery Association for inviting me to their practice and helping me to experience the thrill and excitement of shooting an arrow from a bow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until Sophie B comes your way again, this is where I'm going to say bye-bye.